Let me tell you talking tips. Alex felt a familiar pang of frustration, staring blankly at the English textbook. Why did fluency seem so impossibly distant? Every attempt to speak felt like navigating a linguistic minefield, riddled with awkward pauses and grammatical blunders. He desperately wanted to communicate smoothly, to express his thoughts without stumbling. His dream was to conquer this challenge. He remembered countless times attempting to articulate a simple sentence, only for it to emerge as a jumbled mess. "Why I always make mistakes," he'd whisper to himself, the question echoing his deep-seated self-doubt. The fear of embarrassment was a heavy cloak, stifling any desire to participate in conversations. It felt like an insurmountable barrier. Alex tried various conventional methods, memorizing vocabulary lists, rigid grammar drills, and repeating phrases. While these built a foundational understanding, they didn't unlock the spontaneity he craved. The gap between knowing the rules and actually using them felt vast and intimidating, leaving him feeling more defeated than before. One evening, scrolling online, he stumbled upon a video titled "Listen English." It advocated immersing oneself in the language, not just studying it. Intrigued, he started listening to podcasts, audiobooks, and interviews, even if he didn't grasp every single word. The sheer volume of exposure was a new concept for him. Then came the revelation of "Learn English Through Stories." He found joy in narratives, following plots, and understanding characters. This wasn't just about vocabulary, it was about context, natural phrasing, and the rhythm of the language. Stories made learning engaging, transforming it from a chore into a captivating adventure. This shift in learning gradually influenced how to think and speak. Alex began consciously trying to form thoughts directly in English, instead of translating from his native language. It was slow and clumsy at first, but with persistence, the mental gymnastics became less strenuous, paving the way for more fluid expression. The biggest hurdle, however, was still the fear of error. He realized that "why I always make mistakes" was a self-defeating mindset. True progress came from recognizing that mistakes were not failures but invaluable stepping stones. Each error was a lesson, a chance to refine his understanding and improve his delivery. He started seeking practical, talking tips. One crucial tip he encountered was to prioritize communication over perfection. Get your message across, even if it's imperfect. This advice liberated him from the crippling pressure of speaking flawlessly. It was a paradigm shift that opened new doors for his confidence. Armed with this new perspective, Alex began incorporating small bursts of English talking practice into his daily routine. He'd talk to himself in the mirror, describing his day or rehearsing simple dialogues. It felt silly initially, but it built muscle memory for his tongue and brain, slowly reducing hesitations. Alongside listening and speaking, he discovered the immense benefit of English story reading. Reading helped internalize sentence structures and idiomatic expressions more naturally. It provided a steady stream of authentic language, improving his comprehension and indirectly enhancing his ability to construct coherent sentences when speaking. How make confidence in speaking became less of a daunting question and more of a practical process. He understood it wasn't an overnight transformation but a gradual accumulation of small victories. Every successful, albeit imperfect, interaction chipped away at his insecurity, revealing a more self-assured speaker underneath. He sought out language exchange partners online, initially feeling apprehensive. The first few conversations were awkward, filled with silences and fumbled words. Yet, the kindness and patience of his partners encouraged him. They provided a safe space for real-time English talking practice, building essential rapport and trust. These regular interactions were transformative. He learned how to talk to anyone in English by actually doing it. There were still moments of panic, but the continuous exposure to authentic dialogue chipped away at his inhibitions. Each conversation was a small step forward in his journey toward fluency and self-assurance. The initial awkwardness slowly dissipated. He learned to anticipate common conversational patterns, to ask follow-up questions, and to paraphrase when stuck. The goal shifted from perfect grammar to effective communication, making interactions more natural and less stressful, which significantly boosted his morale and participation. He vividly remembered a conversation where he made a colossal grammatical error, yet the other person still understood him perfectly. This moment was a profound lesson. Fluency wasn't about avoiding mistakes but about effectively conveying meaning despite them. It solidified his new philosophy of learning and trying. His ability to think and speak simultaneously improved dramatically. The internal translation delay shortened considerably. He found himself formulating sentences directly in English, expressing complex ideas without the laborious mental gymnastics he used to perform. This was true progress, a real breakthrough. Listen English was no longer a passive activity but an active one. He started listening not just for general meaning, but for intonation, rhythm, and natural pauses. This deep listening practice helped him mimic native speech patterns, making his own speaking sound more natural and less forced over time. Reading and listening to stories expanded his vocabulary organically, embedding words within memorable contexts. Instead of isolated terms, he learned words as part of expressions and sentences. This contextual learning made retention much easier and made his spoken English richer and more nuanced in everyday conversation. He understood that consistency was paramount. Daily exposure and regular English talking practice were non-negotiable. Even on busy days, he dedicated a few minutes to listening to a podcast or reading a short article, keeping the language alive in his mind, ensuring continuous progress. How make confidence in speaking was now less about a magic trick and more about persistent effort. Each successful interaction, each understood phrase, slowly built a reservoir of self-assurance. It was a cumulative process, where small wins led to significant gains over time and boosted his morale. He even started taking courage to talk to anyone in English, in real-world scenarios. A quick chat with a tourist, asking for directions, or ordering food confidently. These interactions, though brief, were powerful affirmations of his progress and boosted his courage further, opening new social avenues. Through his journey, he developed his own talking tips. One vital tip was to start simple, even if it felt basic. Focus on short, clear sentences before attempting complex structures. This reduced pressure and allowed for natural progression, preventing overwhelm during practice sessions and building foundational skills. His mirror English talking practice evolved. He'd record himself speaking, then listen back, identifying areas for improvement, pronunciation, pace, or even body language. It was sometimes uncomfortable to hear his own voice, but it provided objective feedback for targeted practice, leading to faster refinement. English story reading transformed into reading aloud. This combined the benefits of reading comprehension with speaking practice. He focused on intonation and rhythm, making the text come alive, further strengthening the connection between his eyes, brain, and mouth, enhancing his fluency and expression. The old question, why I always make mistakes, faded, replaced by, how can I learn from this mistake? Errors became signposts on his path to fluency, indicating areas needing more attention. This mental shift was perhaps the most crucial transformation in his entire learning journey, unlocking faster growth. His internal monologue gradually shifted to English. He'd plan his day, solve problems, or reflect on events entirely in the language. This constant, how to think and speak exercise was invaluable, turning every waking moment into an opportunity for immersive language practice, boosting his cognitive fluency. His Listen English sessions became more sophisticated. He could now discern subtle differences in accents, recognize humor, and understand cultural nuances embedded in conversations. This deeper comprehension made interactions richer and more meaningful, bridging the cultural gap effectively and broadening his perspective. Learn English through stories became his preferred learning method. He devoured novels, short stories, and even news articles, all in English. Each narrative provided a window into different aspects of the language and culture, making learning feel effortless and incredibly enjoyable, fostering a love for reading. He realized that, how to learn English effectively required a holistic approach, combining listening, speaking, reading, and thinking. No single method was sufficient, rather, their synergy created a powerful learning ecosystem that propelled him forward with remarkable speed and efficiency, making progress exponential. How make confidence in speaking was no longer a major concern. He felt comfortable initiating conversations, expressing opinions, and even debating complex topics. The initial trepidation was replaced by genuine excitement to engage and connect with others. His self-assurance was palpable, radiating confidence. He found himself effortlessly able to, how to talk to anyone in English, regardless of their background or accent. His adaptability in communication had grown significantly, allowing him to navigate diverse conversational landscapes with ease and genuine interest, opening up new social circles and opportunities. His English talking practice became an ingrained daily ritual. It wasn't about forced drills anymore but organic interactions, whether chatting with online friends, participating in virtual meetups, or simply describing his surroundings aloud, keeping his skills sharp and ready for any situation. English story reading became a source of pure pleasure. He read for enjoyment, not just for learning. This sustained exposure to authentic language reinforced his vocabulary and grammar subconsciously, making the process feel less like studying and more like leisure, integrating learning seamlessly. The greatest reward was the profound joy of understanding and being understood. The world opened up in new ways, connecting him to diverse cultures and perspectives. This intrinsic motivation fueled his continued learning, making the entire journey immensely rewarding and fulfilling for him. Now, Alex frequently shared his hard-earned talking tips with others struggling with English. He emphasized the importance of consistent exposure, active listening, and, most crucially, embracing every mistake as a vital part of the learning curve, transforming fear into fuel for progress. He explained that, "Why I always make mistakes is the wrong question. Instead, ask, what can I learn from this mistake?" This positive reframing transforms errors from obstacles into opportunities for growth, accelerating the learning process and building resilience in learners, leading to faster mastery. He advised beginners to consciously practice how to think and speak in English, even if it's just basic internal monologue. This mental exercise trains the brain to process information directly in the target language, bypassing the time-consuming translation step and promoting fluency naturally over time. For those struggling with motivation, he recommended learn English through stories. He highlighted how narratives provide context, emotional connection, and a natural way to absorb grammar and vocabulary without feeling like rote memorization, making the journey enjoyable and sustainable for anyone who tries. Alex emphasized that how to learn English is a personal journey. What works for one person might not work for another. Experiment with different methods, find what resonates, and tailor your approach. The key is consistent engagement and genuine curiosity, driving continuous improvement effectively and joyfully. Regarding how make confidence in speaking, he stressed that it stems from within. It's about accepting imperfection and celebrating small wins. Each effort, no matter how small, contributes to a stronger belief in one's abilities, slowly eroding self-doubt and building self-assurance step by step. He encouraged people to how to talk to anyone in English, starting with low-stakes interactions. A simple greeting, asking for directions, or initiating a brief conversation about the weather. These small steps break down the fear of speaking and build momentum for more complex interactions later on. He suggested structured English talking practice sessions, like finding a language exchange partner or joining online discussion groups. Regular, dedicated practice provides a safe and consistent environment to apply learned knowledge and receive feedback, accelerating the path to fluency and real-world application. For reading, he advised English story reading actively, not just passively. Underline new words, look up expressions, and try to summarize chapters aloud. Active engagement transforms reading from a leisure activity into a powerful learning tool, enhancing comprehension and retention significantly. He reiterated the power of listen English every single day. Make it background noise, foreground focus, or anything in between. Podcasts, movies, music, immerse yourself. The more you listen, the more naturally you absorb pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation patterns, enhancing your spoken language skills. Alex, once crippled by the question, "Why I always make mistakes," now spoke English with ease and confidence. His journey from hesitant learner to fluent communicator was a testament to perseverance, smart strategies, and a willingness to embrace the learning process fully, inspiring many. His ultimate goal now wasn't just speaking, but truly connecting. He aimed to understand deeper cultural nuances, to express himself with greater subtlety, and to use English as a bridge to diverse communities. The learning never truly stopped, but it became a joyful exploration of new horizons. He maintained a continuous learning mindset. Even as a fluent speaker, he still listened to challenging podcasts, read complex literature, and engaged in new conversations. The world of English was vast, and he was eager to explore every corner, never resting on his laurels and always growing. He felt immense gratitude for the journey. It wasn't just about learning a language, it was about personal growth, resilience, and discovering a newfound ability to overcome challenges. English had opened doors he never knew existed, enriching his life profoundly in countless unexpected ways. Now, when he saw someone struggling, he offered encouragement. He shared his story, emphasizing that everyone makes mistakes, and that true progress comes from learning from them, not fearing them. His experience became a beacon of hope for aspiring English speakers worldwide, guiding their path. "Why I always make mistakes," he mused, a faint smile playing on his lips. The answer was simple: because he was learning, because he was growing, because he was speaking. Mistakes were the invisible threads that wove the tapestry of his linguistic success, making him stronger. He often told others, "Embrace every single step, no matter how small or imperfect. Every fumbled word, every misunderstood sentence, contributed to the bigger picture of fluency." It was a marathon, not a sprint, and every stride counted toward the finish line. The most fulfilling aspect was the human connection. Sharing stories, laughing at jokes, discussing ideas, all in English. It transcended mere communication, it fostered genuine relationships and deepened his understanding of the world, making the effort truly worthwhile and incredibly rewarding. His advice was always simple: live in English. Immerse yourself daily. Listen to podcasts during commutes, read signs, watch movies without subtitles. Make English an integral, unconscious part of your daily existence, and fluency will follow naturally. Confidence, he concluded, wasn't something you waited for, it was something you built through action. Every time you opened your mouth, every time you tried, you reinforced your belief in yourself. Speaking was the ultimate builder of self-assurance and linguistic freedom. The journey of How to Learn English was unending, but it was also endlessly rewarding. It was a continuous discovery, a constant evolution. Alex knew his English would always be improving, opening new horizons with every spoken word, enriching his life forever.